Yeah, baby, we're back.
We are. This is I'm stoked because not only do we have an NWSL player on the show.
International footballer.
Exactly. All right. We gotta mention the resume.
We gotta hit you with the whole CV. I don't know what they say resume up there.
But no, she has a really big game coming up this weekend.
That's right.
In an MLS stadium. So this is
It's a nice big flex, right?
Okay.
Right.
There's too many people. They don't even fit in the venue that we have for the team.
We got to go out and get another venue.
So that's a good sign, and especially with some of the struggles that the club has had, this is nice to see this kind of progress. So
all right. Well, listen. I mean, you guys, a goalkeeper for the Sky Blue FC, the pride of Whitby, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, let's drive and put your hands together for the one, the only, Kailen Sheridan, everybody.
Kailen, what's up?
How are you guys? Good to be here.
Thank you so much.
Pride. I've never gotten a pride of Whitby. It's not much, but I'll take it.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. We Google Whitby. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to find on the map, but it's up there.
Yeah, somebody, I text a buddy of mine who's a comedian, Alex Pavone, very funny comedian from Toronto. He's originally from the York region. Which I don't know what that is, and he cannot explain it to me. He's like, it's kind of a municipality, but it's not. I'm already confused.
It's like just outside the city, right there.
So I said, what do you know about Whitby? And he goes, I don't know much, but it's better than Ajax, I'll tell you that.
I'll take it. I agree. I'll take it.
I mean,
you know how to do.
I didn't even know there was all this cat in the beef.
Baby, better than Ajax.
Can you put her volume up?
Yeah, I didn't know there was all this beef out in Canada. I thought everybody was, all sorry and sorry all day.
We think everyone in Canada is just holding hands, singing Kumbaya all day. Turns out when it comes to hockey championships, it's a little beefy.
It's no joke. It's no joke. That's not a laughing matter, guys.
All right. Well, no more jokes. My bad.
They're like, you ski Dagmar, I'm Lake Ridge. We can't be cool.
Ooh. I mean, the fact that you pulled those names, I'm pretty impressed.
Buddy, we did research.
Dang. Research.
Okay.
Google's on fire right now.
All right.
My computer's warmed up.
Kailen, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, I did mention before. So let's start with the fact that Sky Blue FC have a game against Reign, the Seattle Reign, this Sunday at Rebel Arena. And I know this was look, we've been getting I don't know, it's chastised or like people get mad because look, we big up women's soccer all the time, and we've gone to like women's national team games a bunch and stuff like that. But
like even we know who Megan Rapinoe is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We heard of her.
Careful. It's not going to be me coming for you, but somebody might.
We interviewed her recently, and I called her that just as a joke, and she's like, and I knew it was coming.
But we get like we hung out with the Cloud9 supporters, right? When we were in Dallas,
to suggest that they pressed us immediately.
They were like, "Yo, when are you going to a game?" Right? They got in our faces. So we're gonna.
That's the kind of people they are.
Exactly.
It wasn't even a welcome. Thank you for being here. It was like, oh, you showed up when you
comes
showed
later.
up to a game.
It comes later.
So this game, we're gonna be at the game to support you guys. So what is it? What is your experience like? You've been with Sky Blue for I believe 2 years, right? This is your second or third year?
This is my third year.
Third year, right? So you, what has the sort of experience been so far, and what do you sort of, what does it mean to you to be able to be playing at Rebel Arena, to have this much support, especially after the World Cup? So what does it all mean to you now?
It's pretty crazy. I think the journey over the past 2.5 years has been up and down. It's definitely been a tough one, and it's challenged me in tons of different ways. But being able to go to Red Bulls this weekend is so exciting, and it's a step in the right direction for the club and for the league and for women's soccer in general. And it just shows how much push forward we got from the World Cup and how amazing that impact was on the game and in our domestic leagues across the world. So it's insanely exciting, and it's going to be a really insane matchup between the two teams.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about just being on the national team. Also, just being from Canada. We sort of talk about how the sport of soccer is growing in America, right? But we're starting to talk so much more about Canada now. The men's team is doing really well. The women's team is doing really well. But, it's still a hockey country, right? When you were growing up...
We're so strong in hockey, we got to catch up, man.
Yeah, I know, right? You got to catch up. When you were growing up, were your parents just like, I don't know, try hitting a puck?
No, I was like crazy shy as a kid. So like, I know that's like really hard to believe for people who know me now, but They threw me into like every sport, and I didn't actually play hockey. I played street hockey though. You don't not play hockey. You just pick one.
Okay.
You either play hockey or you play street hockey or you play like ringette or lacrosse. But I was like not really great on skates, so I did street hockey.
Yeah, I mean, Kailen, look, I'll be honest. I used to work at a GameStop when I was in high school. Don't mean to brag.
It got a little hotter in this room all of a sudden. Buddy, a GameStop.
He was like, "Damn, let me just step this up real quick."
Get on flex too hard. I know you're wearing AirPods and all.
Right.
But I did. I worked with a bunch of people that.
In fact, he worked at GameStop so long, he's willing to give you $7 for those AirPods if you trade them in.
Damn, I'll hold on to that one, but we'll see.
So, but I worked with a bunch of guys a bunch of Italian kids that played hockey, and I played hockey. I'm Dominican. I might be the only Dominican on earth that has ever played hockey. I can almost. I mean, we might have to look into it, but I'm pretty confident.
We'll have to check. But we'll see.
You're listed in the Big Poppy Library, Congressional Library in the Dominican Republic as being the only one who've ever played hockey.
I'm all right on skates. Better than you might expect. It's kind of surprising. As a goalkeeper, terrified. All right?
Yeah.
Terrified of the ball.
As a fat guy, don't put me on skates. It's not built for us. What do you see moving forward? Look, we talk about the bump after the World Cup. I don't think there's a bigger bump than when it comes to women's soccer post World Cup. Talk a little bit about what it feels like to all of a sudden have so many more eyes on you, and what do you think some of the players have to do, or some of the federation has to do to keep that bump going?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. It's a great bump, and I think compared to how long women's soccer has been around, how long men's soccer has been around, we can expect to see more bumps like that in order to catch up. Obviously, we are a little behind the game here with women's, but it's time to catch up. And I think these opportunities, like to play in Red Bulls and to keep pushing the attendance records in the NWSL every week, and to have more attendance, we can hope to catch up eventually. But it's going to be huge, and I think growing the game in Canada has been massive already. The men's side, as you said, wasn't so great in the past, but we're already seeing improvements there, and that can push the women's side as well. But all over the world, you're seeing these huge jumps in women's soccer, and we can only expect it to go forward from here. There's no backward steps anymore. And because we got that late start, we can see bigger jumps each time we get a big opportunity to showcase the talent that we have in the game.
And I wanted to ask this. So we have a question from a fan, and a Gully Squad. One of our Gully Squad members, Daniela Fave. She's awesome. A DC United fan, also a Washington Spirit fan. But she asked this question. She said, "Has Sky?" And this is I'll preface this by just saying we've spoken to some other Sky Blue people who've played for Sky Blue, and we all know kind of the struggles that this particular club has had when it comes to just certain resources. So I'm not asking you to like trash your employer, trust me. Not that. But she did ask. She says, has Sky Blue started making any of the changes in housing, facilities, and / overall player care that they promised? And are you sort of happy with any of the progress or improvement?
I think there's a huge step from the not necessarily complaints, but kind of awareness of last year's situations. We have amazing housing now. We have all the necessities that we need off the field. We're definitely still pushing for more, but that comes with time. There's nothing that can happen overnight. These are all things that take some time, and we've already seen big steps in that. Definitely as the club, I think with the recent struggles that we've had in the coaching side, we definitely need to see some steps forward. And we've started to see that. We've had coaches come in. We're working with different assistants around the club, and it's been a really big help. And I think we need to step forward from that. But I definitely think that we've seen steps in the right direction. It's just the consistency factor with that. And it definitely takes time. So we have to give our GM and our owners the time that it takes to make those bigger changes. But we can see the little ones and the steps towards the bigger ones as well. This Red Bull is being one of the bigger ones that we're seeing steps towards.
Okay.
I mean, look, moving over to Rebel Arena is a positive because you were outgrowing the size of your previous venue. What is that? In these moments, do you look at these as sort of like, do you get a chance to look around a stadium like Rebel Arena when you get to play in it and sort of soak that in? Or for you, is this another day at the office?
No, I think you definitely need to take advantage of that and soak that in no matter where you are. And even when we travel to different stadiums around the country, and then when I get to play international and I get to travel around to stadiums around the world, I always want to take a second. I think it hits you as soon as you walk into that stadium to just say, wow, look at where we are. You know, like not everybody in the world gets this opportunity. And then as soon as that happens, you have to take advantage of that and make the best out of that opportunity and put on that performance that people are expecting from you and that you know that you're capable of. So you take that second upon yourself to really, smell the roses for that quick second before you have to snap back to reality and put that performance on.
And I know strikers have to have like that confidence of like, I'm the greatest person ever walking the earth. Right? But I never asked this of goalkeepers. We've talked to goalkeepers before, and the one thing we realize about all goalkeepers is you all share one common language, which is you're all insane. Right?
It's fair. I'm not going to fight that. But I think it's a swagger goalkeepers have too, though. You got to give
absolutely.
that. It's like an insane swagger.
That's the question I have. Like, do you get them when you look around? Because Christian and I are two very different people. Like, if Christian and I walked out on stage on an arena, Christian would be like, wow, I'm honored to do this. And in my head, I'd be like, of course I get to do this. I'm Alexis. Where do you fall on that scale? Like, awesome. Look around, you're like, this is Kailen Sheridan's life, as it should be.
I mean, I think it's like a little bit of both. You have to be like extremely confident in order to have that mentality and that kind of insanity that all goalkeepers have. But I think it's the swagger side of it kind of brings you into that humble side where you also have to realize that like everybody is basically trying to beat you. And if you're just overconfident the entire time, then that's kind of going to backfire a little bit. So it's like a mix between confident and humble.
And is there any, one thing with like I'll watch NWSL games, and it's been great now that they've been on ESPN, so they're just more accessible, right?
Exactly.
But one thing, like it's as a person who maybe doesn't watch every single week, it's like difficult to sort of keep in mind or know where the contention is or where the rivalries are. Are there any particular teams that you just like, yo, I'm waiting for this team this week? I mean, like in my mind, I'm like the Thorns or obviously the Reign, like the bigger teams where you see that
pride, right? They get like a
So it's like, are there any particular teams, and maybe they don't have to be the more popular teams, but there are any teams that you when you see them on the schedule, like, yo, this is where I gotta show up.
I think like within this league, they put on a good way of kind of location rivalry. So like obviously Seattle and Portland have a really strong rivalry, but Portland also has a rivalry with North Carolina because they were the final two teams last year.
Yeah.
But I think they try and create that good kind of rival chemistry with like proximity teams. So I would say ours would be close to Washington as theirs is to Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like when Rose Lavelle shows up.
It's just real close, that's stepping on each other's turf a little bit.
Not today.
Yeah. You're like, all right, we friends off, but right now, 90 minutes, it's over.
And I'm curious because I had seen an interview where you did go to the World Cup this summer. But you as the backup goalkeeper. But what is you did mention getting that starting job? Like, what will it take? What do you see as like that foreseeable future for getting that starting position?
Yeah, I definitely went to the World Cup and I got the opportunity that was just absolutely incredible, and I'm super blessed to have gotten that opportunity. And I think going forward, in order to be in that starting position, which is my ultimate goal, it's just consistency. I think pushing myself to get that 1% better every single day in all areas and all aspects of goalkeeping, but the consistency with that as well, being able to maintain that through seasons, through tournaments, through my career, and get rid of kind of the highs and the lows and have more of a even-keeled kind of trajectory.
Okay.
And I think for the fans, now that there's so much more interest in the NWSL players, and some of the players come from the World Cup coming home, especially for someone like you who gets an opportunity in the World Cup, what's something that you think the fans should know about Kailen Sheridan? Like, what are you listening to in these AirPods when it ain't our voices? What is it that you like to do on your time off?
And I'll just add this. You are a person that several people they've been like, yo, you got to get Kailen on your show. She's mad cool. So,
you were like the number one
I appreciate that.
So there must be a reason.
I don't know. I'm kind of like all over the place. I don't have like I try not to have like a structured routine because I don't want to have to like rely on it, But I do like a lot of stuff off the field. I work at the Keeper Institute, which you guys know them. They're awesome. I've grown as a player and a coach through them, but I also like to work with the shelter. I like to foster dogs. I feel like that's why a lot of people follow me, is to see the dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love dogs? They're almost
Yo,
better
it's
than people
good.
sometimes.
You get a lot of likes, Kailen. I know what you're doing. It's all
They're
good.
so cute, man.
That
Come on, have you
puppy
seen those
content.
foster dogs?
That puppy
They need
content,
help, and they're
man.
just beautiful. They're beautiful.
Can I ask one thing? Because this was something somebody told me about you.
Oh, man.
I've been hearing about you on these streets.
People been spilling tea.
But I heard this is
There's
a
too
weird
much tea
thing.
to be spilled. I'm scared.
There's a weird. I heard that you have some fear of buttons.
Oh yeah.
So and just
What are you just
That's
living a
a weird
zipper
one.
life?
Dude, zippers are mad great. Respect the zipper.
So okay, please
Buttons are
explain
creepy.
why you are afraid of buttons.
I need everybody to go look it up. It's a real thing before you start judging, before you start mad judging me. Okay. Fear of buttons is a real thing, and I've had it since I was really young. My parents can attest to this. I know it's weird, but I will not hug you if you're wearing a button.
Whoa. Okay.
It's that serious.
it's
It's that
called-
serious.
Phobia?
He looked it up.
Count.
He's on fire right now.
What is it in particular? Is it like the?
What do you think the buttons are gonna do?
Does it look
I
like
don't know. They're
like a
yeah, they're
face?
like
Does it look like a scary
kinda
face
gross.
or
They're
something?
just kind of gross to me. I don't know why. I don't mind like the metal ones on like jeans, but it's like, you know, like on a button up. I don't like that.
Whoa.
Remember the whole button
Since I was
fly?
like, I wouldn't wear them when I was little. Like my mom would try and put it on me, and I would take it. I would put it on and go find something else.
You're more of a hook and eye lady.
I've never heard of this.
It's weird. I know.
This is just like again, we think of goalkeepers as like these just like larger than life human beings, like these superheroes, and this is your weird ass kryptonite. This is
right. I'll
strange.
take a ball to the face any day before I put a button on.
I would love the other
Listen,
team
if
just
you
showed
ever
up.
see me in like my zippers all the way up, it's because I was probably supposed to wear a polo that day, and I'm not wearing it.
So it must be when you're playing against teams that have their kit that has a button on it. You're like they look like monsters. They look like just.
I gotta take them out so they don't come close to me.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, if I was a striker on the other team, I would just show up covered
These
in buttons.
buttons, right?
Just drop buttons near your goal. you can't get the job.
That's evil. Don't give anybody no ideas, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I know you'll find my ass too now that I said that.
Unbelievable.
I know it's gonna be you too, and nobody else told them.
Well, again, this is the voice of Christian Polanco. I swear. It's definitely not Alexis.
No, that's wild. That's just a wild thing.
Also, Steve Jobs had it.
Wow, you and Steve Jobs have the same.
Only the greats, man. Only the greats.
The upper echelon.
Okay, you see, it's just two billionaires that have the same fear. What's the big deal?
I almost can't tell the
Maybe
difference
one
between
day.
the two of you. That's why you always had the turtlenecks.
I hope we're projecting. That's what we're doing right now.
You always had the turtlenecks, so you never had to button up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
All
See?
makes sense.
This all
Smart
makes sense.
guy.
Well, Kailen, this is thank you, man. This is unbelievable. That's
Where can everyone follow you? And also, where can people get tickets? A couple more tickets left for this game. Where can people follow you personally? And where can people get tickets for the game?
Yeah, I'm at Kailen Sheridan on all social media platforms, and call the Sky Blue number. It's on the website and on our Twitter at Sky Blue FC. Get some tickets for the Red Bulls games coming up this Sunday, August 18th.
Yeah, so this is going to be great because obviously Sky Blue's taking on Reign. So we have Carly Lloyd, we have Rapinoe. I mean, this is of all people, like if you've not been to an NWSL game and this is your first opportunity, and you're in the tri-state area, go to Red Bull Arena this Sunday at 1:00. So
Yeah, man. Go support because this is a big moment.
exactly, and we can ask that we're going to be giving away some tickets to the game as well. So
That's right, we're
so
excited.
thank you, Sky Blue, for donating those to us. So, Kailen, thank you so much for joining us. You lived up to the legend and the myth that everybody created about you. So, but we wish you the best at the game and for the rest of the season and your international career. So we want you to do amazing.
And how do we get that statue in the downtown area of Whitby?
Man, right? Come on. I'm trying. I got to do a couple more great things first. Give me some time, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. We'll help out as best we can. Thank you so much
I
for
appreciate
taking the time to talk to us.